Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
I don't know what Facebook is doing to me, but I got you on my Zoom, so we're gonna do it from here.
Okay.
All right. This is this okay with you?
Yes.
All right. Now I also have my phone on the screen just so we can still see it because it is live stream, if that's all right with you.
Okay. Yes.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you as well. I've been following you, being a little stalker, but I
Have you
love
now?
it.
Have
I
you now?
love everything you've been doing, and I'm so proud of you.
Ooh, okay, so we're gonna dive into your check-in, but I'm not gonna take you too fast. As
Okay.
always, as we're talking, keep it real with me.
Okay.
Keep it real with yourself while you're sharing as well. If it's something that you don't want to talk about, if it's something that's off limits or out of bounds, you can always say mind thine own business and we can move on, okay?
Okay.
Because it's your check-in. So I'm
Okay.
gonna start with how are you feeling right now?
In this moment, happy, a little anxious.
Okay.
Um, just having a lot of different mixed emotions right now.
Yeah, you want to unpack some of those? Why are you feeling happy and anxious?
Okay, I'm happy to be here, number one. I've been trying to tune in on Mondays for a long time, but my work schedule, it kind of fluctuates.
Okay.
So, and sometimes I'll just forget. Um, and it feels good to be a part of a actual community. And so many different things in my life have occurred since the last time I saw you. So it feels good to be in a safe space.
Well, I'm glad that you are allowing me to check in with you. Now, let me ask you, when you first reached out about check-in, what made you ask or what made you say, check in on me?
Because I have not been in the best headspace.
Mhm.
And as far as just struggling in my family, in my spiritual life, and on this new path that God has me on, it's just like, I'm really struggling. And so I just needed, to know that, hey, somebody is there. Somebody cares how
Mm.
Elizabeth is doing instead of
Yeah,
Elizabeth always reaching out to somebody else.
of course. And I'm glad that I can be here for you. I am, because it's been a long time again. So I'm really excited about checking in with you. So you
Thank you.
shared, yeah, so you shared you're feeling happy, you feeling anxious, and you also shared been struggling. How do
Yes.
you know that you've been struggling?
Because I feel like I'm wavering. I feel like, like my days are not consistent anymore.
Hmm.
I cannot just say, okay, Elizabeth, stop. You're feeling this way because you've been thinking about things you shouldn't think about, and I find myself just on these highs and lows for like the past couple of months or so, to the point of just being exhausted
Yeah.
and feeling drained.
I feel that. I feel you for sure. And while we're doing this check-in, you don't have to stay right there. If you need to go cook, if you need to go clean, whatever you need to do, move around like you would need to do. We could just still have the
Okay.
conversation. Okay. So you say you
Okay.
feel like you've been wavering. Okay. So name the last time that you can feel when you felt clear, when you felt grounded, when you felt sure. Think of that time and take a moment with it if you need to.
Okay. That was January 28th.
A real
That
specific date.
Yes, that was January 28th. That was the day I had my board hearing and they reinstated my nursing license. And I was feeling it. I mean, I was feeling myself. I was feeling my husband. I'm like, we're about to do the thing.
Yeah.
And then it was just like my whole world just kind of fell apart
Yeah.
overnight.
Yeah. Do you remember what changed that made your world fall apart?
Oh yeah. Um, well, my husband, this gonna sound like a soap opera. So my husband wanted me to go on a dinner date with his girlfriend and just meet her and just see how she is as a person.
Okay.
He did not specifically say his girlfriend.
Mhm.
Um, what he said was Yes, I have been having an affair, and I want you to go out with her and go out to eat with her. And, maybe y'all a vibe. I feel like, y'all have something in common. And I started drinking. I mean, like drinking,
Yeah.
even though it's in my board order not to
Yeah.
drink. So, mm,
So since January 28th, you've been feeling these wavering feelings.
hmm
Did you? And again, you can answer if you want to. If not, that's your business too. Did you go out? Did you try to, did you do it?
I did.
Okay. So did you
I
feel
did.
relief from moving forward in that aspect, or did you feel the opposite end of that?
I felt the opposite end of that. And as a matter of fact, I got all out of character when I got back home.
Okay.
I was fine with her, and it even drove him to calling her the next day, wondering what happened.
Yeah.
And after he had said he wasn't gonna call her anymore and stuff like that. But I guess how I acted when I got home. I went left field
Yeah.
on him
Yeah.
because all those feelings just came back what I thought I had gotten over, because I knew that he had cheated and he didn't come out and tell me, but she did,
Mm.
and I think like when I went left field on him and just poured out my heart and everything I was feeling, I think it did something to him as well. And
Okay.
but he still tried to keep it a secret that he even called her. She called me and said, "Do you know he just called me and asked me what happened last night?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "No, I just got off the phone with him."
Right. 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 Okay. So we're not going to unpack that deeply because I do got some questions, but I'm not going to ask them to you now. But I do want
Okay.
to know, fast forwarding to now it's June 2nd.
Okay.
What's working well in your life?
My job. Oh, I love my job.
Mhm.
I love being a nurse again. I love, everything about my job. I can pick up extra hours. I'm making double the money I thought I was gonna make.
Yeah.
And I love my schedule.
Yeah. So that's working well in your life. Okay. So if you can go back
Yes.
and rewind a little bit further to your day today, how did your day start when you first got up? Walk me through your day up until now.
Okay, so when I get up this morning, I gave God praise. I immediately start thanking him and asking him to order and guide and direct my steps today. I prayed as I got dressed, and then my mother-in-law called,
Mhm.
and I talked to her, and she prayed for me as well. But I got dressed, got in the car, went to work, found out I was working on a unit that I don't like to work on, but it was okay. I didn't have any anxiety. I was just glad to be out of the house.
Yeah.
Um, so even though I had just worked 24 hours this weekend, it was like still like a reliever, like, oh, I made it here.
Yeah.
So I had a pretty good day at work. Talked to my husband a couple of times, and that brought a lot of tension. But
Yeah.
I got off work. I came home. No, I went to Walmart and I got me some chocolate.
Okay. I've been craving chocolate all day. Okay, makes sense.
Okay. I came home, I played with the girls a minute, talked to them, and I said I'm taking a nap until my class starts at 7.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what I did.
Good. Good for you. So it sounds like you found time throughout your day to pour into you. And that's why I
Yes.
asked you to walk me through it. So the morning devotionals, all of those things are moments to check in with yourself, right?
Yes, you taught me that.
So what else have you been using to help you to stay afloat? Because like you mentioned, things can be wavering, our feelings can be, our life can be, and that's just a part of life too. How have you been managing yourself?
Mm, I'm not gonna even lie. For the most part, I just been kind of getting by. I ain't gonna even lie. I've been kind of getting by and just kind of losing myself at work.
Okay.
Because, the girls are getting older, and so trying to maintain a relationship, with my oldest, it has been very challenging. And to a point to where she gotta see a therapist now.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that make me feel like I'm a bad mama, and so really I'm just getting by, to be honest with you, not knowing what each day is gonna bring.
Yeah.
And so that in itself just brings anxiety, because my main thing now is like, Lord, don't let me wake up feeling tired and drained. Don't let me wake up with all these negative thoughts.
And honestly, Miss Elizabeth, that can be enough. You asking for that type of clarity instead of, having to figure everything out at one time. Like you mentioned, your oldest daughter, and then the situation that you have on your own. You have a lot of things on your own plate as well. Then your kids, then your husband, your job. Like these are all different things that you have on your plate. So if you just, that small little thing that seems so small is massive, you know, and you're
Yeah.
doing that. So I know you mentioned that you're just getting by. We all just getting by, honestly. We all getting by because life is happening to everybody. Man, I think that
Yes.
you're here. You're showing up. You're doing the thing. So you're managing yourself pretty well, no matter what the circumstances may look like or whatever it may feel like. You're still showing up for yourself. So don't be so hard.
Thank you.
But I do
I
want to
needed to
know,
hear
yeah,
that.
I do want to know though, what does your support system look like?
Oh my goodness.
And the
I,
support system, I want to be clear on it. The support system in which you can tell the truth on how you feeling, tell the truth on how you've been
mm,
processing or managing, taking off the mask and keeping it real. That
oh my goodness. Wow. So that would explain why I'm so transparent with people I don't know. I can be very transparent at work.
okay.
Because my support system is very small. I can talk, to my mother-in-law about how I'm truly feeling. I can
Mhm.
talk to my husband about how I'm truly feeling.
Yeah.
But I also have a sponsor. I can talk to her about how I'm truly feeling, but a lot of the times hers is going to overpower mine. So
Mm. Why is that?
because whatever I'm dealing with or I'm struggling with, she's gonna say she's dealing with that same thing 10 times over.
Okay. Okay. How does that make you feel?
Like dreading talking to her.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's why I asked that too, because I know I mentioned life is happening to all of us. And when I say that, I don't mean to belittle or diminish what it is that you're going through. I just say that to shine light that, everyone has different levels of things and we all have our levels and versions of what our bottom looks like. But
Right.
I empathize with you on that. So I want to make sure that we're still checking in. I want to make sure that this is intentional about checking in with you. So we're going to unpack a few buckets that we first talked about. You mentioned your relationship. So that would be the love bucket. How are you managing or processing through your relationship right now? How is that working for you? How are you
Mm.
managing?
Not really managing. More or less, I would say detachment, and trying to, do the right thing even when I don't want to keep my conscience clear, and to also, be a light in the darkness,
Yeah.
and so maybe if, he doesn't hear me, maybe he can see me and my actions. But I see that some people, only God can do that.
Yeah.
I can't control or change anybody. And that's what Elizabeth has to realize. I cannot fix you. I cannot fix anybody. Yes, I'm a nurse, I'm a nurturer, but that's not my job to do.
Right, right, right. Oh, and that's powerful in itself. So detachment can be healthy, right?
It
Or
can be.
do you feel like it's a healthy version of detachment or do you feel like it's something else? Because there's versions of it.
It's versions of detachment. It is so, and it's several versions of detachment. And the version of detachment I'm at right now is like, I'm still going to do for you. I'm still going to, talk to you. At this point, you can still sway me back over. You can win me back over. But if I get to that point of detachment to where, I mean, I'm just cold and I'm just done, then that's the part you have to worry. When I get quiet, then that's when you need to worry
Okay.
because that's when I'm planning.
Right. Okay, okay, okay. So we're gonna put that one to the side. You mentioned your work is working well, so we can put that one to the side. When it comes to your home life, I know you mentioned your oldest daughter, but as a collective, what's working well in your home, or how do you feel about your home life?
Oh, it's so organized. It's clean. It's neat. I do, we have a schedule. I love that. I love, how they love me and how they are happy to see me when I come home and how they do still want to be a part of me,
Right,
even though they have their own things going on.
right, right. How old are your daughters?
12 and 9.
Okay, yeah, okay. And then your self bucket. So when it comes to yourself, what type of tools do you have? I know you mentioned you just getting by, but what's working well when it comes to your personal journey?
What's working well with my personal journey is I am consistent in my Bible study as far as reading and journaling every night. Um, I am consistent with my hygiene.
That's important. It counts.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And I am consistent about being disciplined about I'm not going to self-sabotage anymore.
That's powerful, Miss Elizabeth. So, how did you become aware of the self sabotage?
Hmm. Um, I became aware just by God just landing on my heart, and you said it that I'm hard on myself. I'm very hard on myself. And God just, spoke to me and just showed me where I will self-sabotage, by because I'm afraid of failing.
Yeah.
And I did not know that. I did not know that and I would even start things and stop it and did not know that fear is what was hindering me. But I didn't know. I'm like, fear of what? It was fear of failing.
Mm, yeah. So, how do you deal with that even today?
I'm still working through it.
Yeah.
I am. I'm still working through it. But I mean, as far as the self-sabotage, it's like, Lord, I want everything you have for me, despite what this path looks like, what it feels like. Just help me to not be led by my emotions. Help me to be driven and focused to where, it doesn't matter the pain or the pressure, just knowing that I'm going to grow from that and knowing what season I'm in when I'm in that season and not trying to push and make it whatever season it is something that is not, just to be able to embrace the pain, embrace the fear, embrace whatever it is that I'm feeling emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, be able to embrace that and ask God to just show me how to use it for his glory.
Mm,
Lord, how can you be my strength in this weakness? How can you use this, what I'm going through, in order to help somebody else,
mm.
making it not about me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And I appreciate all of that because I'm taking it in as well. I've had moments of feeling fearful, and it's things that, like you mentioned, self sabotage can come in the way of that, and that fear, that blockage. So I want to know, what is the last time, or just think of a moment or memory of when you felt fearful, but you pushed through anyway.
Hmm. I felt fearful after I received notice, from UAB stating that Yes, the Board of Nursing had referred me for a relapse eval, but their recommendation to the board was I do 30 days of residential inpatient treatment in Tennessee. I fell apart. Because the first thing came to my mind is I just started my job in April.
Mhm.
I haven't even had my 90-day probation yet.
How
And
did you?
here I am, you know, having to go and do a residential inpatient treatment. And I'm like, for relapse, I'm like, relapse, alcohol wasn't even my
Mhm.
DOC.
Yeah, so how did you push through that? How did you manage that fear?
I said, God, you are doing this for a reason. And I started reading about how all these great people in the Bible, how God isolated them in order to excel them. And I said, okay, God, I'm ready. This is going to be my period of isolation.
That's powerful in itself. So I know you mentioned again, you just getting by, but everything that you're saying, and I hope you're not just telling me this because it sounds good, Miss Elizabeth, because it
I'm not.
those are powerful tools and methods that do help you get by daily
Mhm.
because it's real. It is
Yes.
real. So you're doing it again, even if it probably
Mhm.
feels like you're not, even if it
Right.
feels like you're not moving along or you're not moving forward. I know you mentioned January 28th. It's June 2nd. So that's February, March, April, May, June. Something has been working for you. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yes.
Something has been working for you. All right. So I'm going to ask when it comes to, let's just say, we're going to the next chapter, we're going to the next step that Elizabeth needs to take. You're going to that next space where you feel full, you feel whole, you feel free, you feel peaceful. What do you need? Name three things that are your top things that you need in order to feel happy, to feel full, to feel relief. What do you need?
I shouldn't feel like I need this. So that shows me that I'm not as far as I should be. Because the first thing is, I feel like I need my marriage to be stable. But that
Okay.
would mean that I'm putting my happiness, my next level into another person, and that shouldn't be. But that's what I feel like I need. You
Okay.
know, I feel like I need my family dynamics to be solid,
Okay.
and I feel like I need to be able to love me and not worry about, you know, disapproval of others.
Okay. So you name love you and not worry about approval from others. Your family life needs to be secure and your marriage needs to be stable. Put them in order of priority and keep it real. Keep it real. No judgment
Okay.
zone here. No judgment.
Okay. That would be husband, my marriage to be stable,
Hmm.
my family, and then myself.
Okay. How do you get to your marriage being stable? How can you show up? Or who are you showing up as in your marriage now without the last thing, the loving yourself? So who's showing up now?
Hmm. Wow.
And I'm not saying that because I want you to change your answers. Though your answers are your answers. I'm just wanting
Right.
to answer that question though for yourself. Who's showing up to make the marriage stable if it's not coming from that place? What place is it coming from, rather?
I feel like it's really coming from just God keeping us together. And I feel like, it is because of me not giving up and throwing in the towel. I feel like, if he could have anything his way, he would be out there doing what he want to do,
Mm,
but he knows that I'm not having it.
yeah. Okay.
So I feel like, I am what's keeping us going right now.
Okay, so what space are you pouring into your relationship from? If it's coming from, let's just say you have different things that you do for yourself throughout your day.
Hmm.
What space is going into the relationship? What mental space is wanting that to be what works well and is stable? What physical space, what part of you are you pouring into the relationship?
All of me. And that's probably why I'm so drained because I'm not really pouring into me as much as I'm pouring out. And so, like you talked about an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. And so that's probably where all the mixed moods are coming from me. And Lord, I appreciate this conversation because that means I'm wearing a mask. And
Mm,
so that's probably why I'm so unhappy.
mm, yeah, and it's okay. And again, I appreciate you for always being so open and transparent and keeping it real with yourself because that's the only way that we can move forward through things if we being honest, at least with ourselves. So I
Right.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. Now, when it comes back to again, just focusing on Miss Elizabeth, not the relationship, not the marriage, not the kids, what do you feel like you need?
I
Not
need
your kids.
confidence.
Okay, you need confidence.
Yes.
Uh-huh. How do you
I
want
need,
confidence to show up? What would it look like if you had
oh,
it?
confidence would be I love me. You couldn't, I know I'm beautiful. I know I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I know, nobody is going to talk down to me, or nobody is going to belittle me, or nobody is going to get me to compromise against what I know is right. No one is going to violate my morals or my values. I'm going to stand for something so I don't just fall for anything. It looks bold. It looks brave. It looks so free.
As you're saying that, how is that making you feel to describe this person?
I want to cry because I want to be that strong woman, that virtuous woman.
Yeah. What's stopping you?
Fear of abandonment, not being liked, not being accepted.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna ask you those three questions. Not being liked, not being accepted. And what was the other one you said? You just said it. Not being
Um,
liked, not being accepted.
Disapproval of others,
Okay.
people pleasing.
Okay. So the first one, not being liked. Do you like
I like me.
okay. Do you approve of you?
Mm, no.
Okay. Do you feel like you can become a person that approves you?
Yes.
Yeah. How can you start?
I need to love me.
Yeah, and that can be something that's broad, or it can be a jump from here all the way to there if you're not feeling like you're already there. So when it comes to starting, just taking that step, taking that you've already, announced or shared how you're feeling. How can you take the next step to walking towards this virtuous woman that's so confident and super bold and proud? What steps can you take to get to loving yourself in that way? And they can be small. Starting where
Hmm.
you are with what you have, not needing anything else. What can you do to start?
To think positive thoughts about myself.
It's a beautiful start. It's a beautiful start. So tell me two things that you like about yourself that you know to be true. That can't nobody tell you otherwise Two things that you know to be true about you. That can't nobody tell you, nah, that's not you. That's not you. That's not real. Two things.
I'm smart and I'm very loving.
Yes. So what if you started there? Start with the things that you know are true about you. Remind yourself of those things daily, even if you journal them. That's how you start the process, and then add on to it until you believe that you are the person who you are becoming.
Mm,
You got to do it if you're open to it.
yes.
I want, I want that for you. I want
Thank you.
that for you, and you deserve it, Miss Elizabeth. You deserve to feel proud. You deserve to feel beautiful. You deserve to feel full. You deserve to feel free. You deserve to feel bold and as that virtuous woman because you are already that person. If you're speaking those things, you're already rewriting your script. Say
Mm,
it until you believe it. You affirmed yourself with all of those different things. Say them until you believe it. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Because they don't know your story. They haven't been in your shoes. So nobody can take that from you.
right.
Yeah. So, what is
Thank you.
one thing? Of course, of course. What's one thing that you can do tonight to get started? I know you said start thinking positive thoughts, but what's an actual action step that you can take to get started?
Stand in this mirror and do positive affirmations about me.
Now, are you just saying that because it sounds good, or is it something that you feel like you're gonna really do?
I can really do this.
You can really
That's
do
a
it.
small step. I can really do that.
Are you available and able to walk to that mirror right now and just say one thing to yourself that you love? Or if you have more, it's up to you.
Yes.
Okay. Take a
I
pause.
am beautiful.
Take a pause in between. Take a pause.
Okay.
Just look at you.
Mm.
Look at her and tell her that like you mean it.
I am beautiful. Oh, why does that feel so awkward?
Uh-huh, uh-huh. But get used
Mm.
to it. Either you have the uncomfortability. I don't even know if it's a word, but we're gonna go with it.
Yeah,
You're
that
gonna be
sounds like one.
uncomfortable. You're gonna be uncomfortable either way. Uncomfortable with
Okay.
not loving yourself like you'd like to, and uncomfortable with the process of learning to. Which one would you rather have? Either way, you're gonna be uncomfortable.
That's right. I'd rather go through the uncomfort of change so that that comfort will pass.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Miss Elizabeth. One more thing. For the person who doesn't have a support system, for the person who really doesn't know what to do, and they have no idea, they're struggling, they may feel sad, may feel overwhelmed, may feel anxious. What can you tell them?
I can say that God loves you. You're not the only one that's, having to deal with things and go through things. You're not the only one struggling. Someone cares. Someone sees you and knows what you're dealing with. Um, you're going to grow through this and to just trust the process.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this is something that I do every single Monday, and I'm going to continue to do it. Right after this at 8 p.m., we're doing a community group. So if you would like to join that, I sent you the Zoom link. Just join right at 8 o'clock, and then it's going to be a community of people where we kind of talk and unpack different things there. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'd also like to check in on two of your people if you have people in mind that you would like for me to check in on. You can send them to me separately. Okay.
Okay.
You have
Okay.
any questions for me? Any questions, feedback, concerns, anything you'd like for me to know?
Did you marry that guy?
Did I marry him?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was so long ago. We're not yet, not yet, not yet,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
not yet, not yet. We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Okay. Okay. Are you enjoying your businesses and everything you're doing now?
I feel so free.
Yes, and I could tell. I could
I feel
tell
so
you
free.
so energized and you just glowing.
Thank you, thank you. I'm moving at my own pace. I'm still doing all of the things that I was doing. It's just on different terms. So I'm really excited about the journey and what's happening. So I'm excited to welcome you into it as well.
Yes, because I want to come to yoga. I definitely want to come to one of the pop-up shops.
Yeah,
I want to. And
yeah,
I feel like, just having, something that I can feel that I can hold, like the beads,
yeah,
I can, and I know I'm not supposed to put, my trust and faith in that, but just I feel like I'm being empowered through it.
absolutely. It's a tool, and that's one thing that I'm glad that you said that because I think it's when you put your faith and belief into the thing and idolize it that it becomes something different. But it's a mindfulness,
Mhm.
it's a tool, something like you said to remind you of your empowerment, something that you're wearing to remind yourself. So I would love to waste you.
Yes.
Yeah, I sure will. I sure will. But if you would like, if you're available, I would love to, for you to join the group.
Yes, definitely. So I
Okay.
just go back on Facebook now.
Oh, you're on the link. So it's gonna be at
Oh,
in 8 minutes. So if you want to stay here, I'm gonna restart it to start the time over. But if you want to come back
okay.
in at 8, then I'm gonna be here at 8.
Okay, I'll be here.
Enjoy your evening. Well, I'll see you soon.
Thank you. And you too.
All right.
Okay. Mm, mm.
Hello, you go. Thank you for tuning in.